everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amber with Travel Light, and if you are new here, welcome. We sold everything and we bought an RV, and now we travel the United States full-time, and we are loving every second of it. Now, with this lifestyle, that means that we are homeschooling our kids. Now, I know a major concern for a lot of parents who are trying to decide whether to homeschool or not is, do I have enough space to do it? And I am here to tell you that don't be discouraged. It does not matter what space you have, you can homeschool. And I'm going to show you exactly how I keep everything organized in this tiny little trailer to make our days run smoothly. So if you haven't seen my other video about which curriculum we chose and why, be sure to check that one out after you watch this video. But in short, I'm using the Abeka Academy, the independent study, and I have a K-5 and a first grader. So with that program, it's an awesome program, but it does come with a lot of materials to keep organized, and for good reason. You know, it's a great quality education for your kids, and it's going to come with a lot of stuff to make sure that you're getting all of the subjects covered that they need. Now, that means that I have to find a place to organize it in here. And as I said before, we don't have a whole lot of space. We are in a 29-foot travel trailer. So if you're in a house and you think, well, I don't have a designated classroom to be able to set up for my kids, is that going to be a problem? Don't worry. Your house does not have to look like a Pinterest classroom in order for your kids to get a good quality education. It's not about the space that they're in, it's about the hours and the effort that you put in. And Abeka does a great job of making sure that your kids are being taught everything they need to be taught, but it's not about the space that they're in. In the DVDs, the kids are immersed in an actual classroom with an actual teacher, actual real students. So I've even found that I'm not using a lot of the materials that came with Abeka for hanging up on the walls and everything, because they just don't need it. Especially with us having the space that we have, I don't have anywhere to put it, and I so far haven't seen that that's an issue. Because anytime a teacher needs a visual aid for teaching, they're going to be pointing to the one that's on the screen in the classroom on the blackboard, and the kids aren't going to be looking at that and then go ahead and look at the one that's in their classroom for reference. They're just going to be watching what the teacher does anyway. So far I haven't found that I need any of the wall hanging materials that come with Abeka. The kids just watch the teacher in the classroom, and that has been working out fine for us. So if that is a concern for you, you're worried, well, I don't have a Pinterest beautiful classroom set up with all of this space and all of these chalkboards and beautiful wall displays for my kids, is that going to be a problem? It's not. It is not a problem. Our kids are doing just fine, and we set up every day on our kitchen table in our little travel trailer, and then we take it down every single day, and it is not a problem. So don't worry about that. So having said all of that, I am going to start to get into where I keep all of the materials that I have for Abeka in this tiny travel trailer. Whatever space you have to find the best way to make it work for you. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do that in this space. Okay, so you're gonna have to excuse me sitting on the floor, but this is really the only organization space that I have in this trailer. So this is a shelf that we had in our home, and it's the only piece of furniture that we brought with us into the trailer when we sold everything, and it's been working out great for just adding a little bit of extra storage in here because we're really limited on the space that we have. So this is basically the central hub of where I put everything for homeschooling that I use on a daily basis. I think this is something that's really key to any organization system. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it doesn't matter how Pinteresty and beautiful it is. The most important thing is that it is functional and as easy or easier than not putting it away. For me, this means that I have this area here for the stuff that I use every single day, and then I have other spaces in the trailer that are a little bit more difficult to get into and less convenient. So I use those for more long-term storage or things that I only need to get into on a weekly basis. And for the things that are really difficult to get to, those are for the things that I don't need to access for months at a time. And breaking it up into sections like that makes it super easy for you to have access to the things at hand that you need on a daily basis, and you're not fumbling over all the stuff that you don't necessarily need all the time, and it makes your daily space more functional and easier to use. So let's get into what is on this shelf. So we obviously have to have space for our computers because we all have computers. Randy has a work computer and a personal computer. I have a personal computer that I use for my video editing and work. And then the girls each have a personal laptop for their school. So those all get stacked up here. They're easy to access and it keeps them safe and in a central location. We grab them all the time and they're just sitting right here. Also, in this bin down here are all of the electronics that go with those computers. So the mice and headphones and power cables and the little portable DVD players that the girls use for playing their school. Those all go in here. And it keeps it central, it keeps it all together, and we're not losing power cables and they're not all jumbled up and strewn around. They tuck away nicely right here and it keeps it all together. Right here, I have the girls' school books, which I will get into in a minute and show you how they're organized. But basically, these I access every single day, and I have one for each girl, and they keep together all of their school materials that they are going to be needing on a daily and weekly basis. And finally, on this shelf, in this basket, I have their DVDs that we use for their school. They use these every single day, so I want them to be handy so that I can pull out which ones I need very easily. So they're right here. And then also in this basket, I have all of my teacher manuals and answer keys, as well as their extra writing tablets for their school, their handwriting work. These two I use on a weekly basis because every time Melanie has a test, I check the answers right away and I follow along to make sure she's doing well. Because with them wearing headphones, I can't always hear what the teacher is saying, so this makes it easy for me to make sure that she is doing the test properly without actually hearing what the teacher is saying. So I keep these handy. And I don't get into these all the time, like I said, just when I am grading papers, but I do that more often than every couple of weeks. So I need to have access to those, but I don't want them to be mixed in with their everyday school because they just kind of get in the way. There's a whole bunch of them. And I don't want to be fumbling through all of these books if I don't need to be. So let's go ahead and break into these and I'll show you how I organize their weeks for school. So these teal binders that I have, I use these every single day and I have one for each girl, and I only keep in here what we are currently actually using. So we have Mel's community helper book for her activity time. I have her reading comprehension answer key to ask her questions on her AM and PM reading circles every single day, and these are the books for that. These little pencil cases work great for the size books that they have. And then I have 5 different dividers for Monday, Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday. That is why we still have the papers in here. So Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday. So these are the papers for every single day of the week that they are going to be using that week, and I fill them up every single day. Now on the back of this Friday folder, I have the current progress report, as well as all of the tests behind that are supposed to be for that progress report. And when they're graded, I keep them all together. And this is basically the Bible for Abeka. It's the grade 1 video manual. There's also a kindergarten one as well. And I'm in that every single day, checking what they need to do for each class and making sure that they have everything they need. So On the back of Monday's folder, I actually keep all of their papers that are completed and waiting to be graded. When they're full, I go ahead and grade them, and then they go back into their gray binders. So this system has worked great. I have one for each girl, and I refill them every single week, and it keeps everything nice and together. Okay, so sorry again for sitting on my floor, but we don't have a lot of space, and this is one of the only other spaces that I keep homeschool materials in our trailer. So this drawer is actually very heavy, and it's hard to pull. It's not on a slider or anything. It's just sitting there and you have to pull it in and out. So it's very hard to get into, but it's good storage space. So it's not something I want to be getting into all the time, but I do need the space. So in here I've got all of the girls' books that they are not into yet, but they will probably be into in the next couple of weeks. I don't want to have to go all the way into the bedroom up above the bed to get into them, to be able to pull them out when they need them, because we are cycling through them pretty quickly. But I also don't want them to be mixed into their daily materials. So this is a good spot for them. Also in this drawer, I have all of their arts and crafts materials, Play-Doh, we have pom-poms and pipe cleaners and feathers and popsicle sticks, all of the things that are needed for the various arts and crafts that come with Abeka, but also just my kids like doing arts and crafts, so this is a good place to keep all of that together. And finally, we also keep their accordion envelope folders in here that have all of their materials that they use daily, but it's organized by week. So one of the main concerns that I had when I was about to start doing Abeka was I had seen a whole bunch of videos about how people were organizing all of their papers for their kids, and they were using this crate system where they have this big crate and it has all these different envelopes and it's broken down by the day and the week, and I thought that's a really nice system, but I don't have the space for that. So what can I do in the space that I have that's similar that would work? And these gray accordion style folders have been the solution that I have needed. These have worked out so well. So I have one for each kid, and at the beginning of the year I only broke it down halfway through the school year. I didn't go all the way through and do the latter half because I wasn't sure if the system was going to work, and so I didn't want to pull out all of the papers for the entire school year and then realize that my system wasn't going to work. So far it's been working great, so I am actually going to go through and pull out the other half of the school year and get them organized into here. But basically what I have done is I have broken these little dividers down by the month, and within the month I have put all of the papers using a sticky note as a divider. You don't have to get fancy, but one sticky note is 1 week's worth of material. I don't have them organized by the day yet because I thought that was overkill to do that all at once. So basically every single Sunday I go through and I'll pull out the next week's worth of materials and I'll organize it by the day into their teal binders, and that has been working out awesome for us. And also whenever I am done with a stack of their grading, I usually organize it and I will just stick it directly back into this binder in the month that it was done in. So when I am completely done with the school year, I will have all of the materials of their papers that they did throughout the entire school year, and it will just be neatly organized and graded and tucked away, and I will file it somewhere. I haven't decided where I'm going to put these yet when they're done, but I will be able to have a convenient system of keeping all of their important papers organized and stored, so that if I ever decide to go accredited and I need proof of everything that they've done, or if someone ever just comes knocking and asking, hey, are you schooling your kids, I can pull these out and say, hey, this is my proof that I've been educating my kids the way that I need to. So this has worked out great. If you're worried about, I don't necessarily have all of the space that I see other people doing for Abeka or for any homeschool, this might be a solution that you might want to look into. It's been working out great for me and I have no complaints so far. Okay, so we are now at the third and final place that I store some of their Abeka materials, and that is because we are on top of my children's bed, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to get up here and go up into here and grab things. This is not something I would want to be doing all the time, even once a week. So basically the only stuff that is up here are the rest of their books, their worksheets and everything that I have not already ripped out and sorted and put into their gray binders. So I very rarely have to come into this compartment. Most of the time I'm coming in here, it's not for Abeka, it's for something else, some of their games or toys or whatever. Mostly the books just sit here waiting the day that I rip out the rest of their worksheets and organize them into their gray envelopes. Okay guys, well I hope you have enjoyed taking a peek into my very small home to see how we make homeschool work for us and our organization in a very small space. I hope above all that this video has given you guys some inspiration or some encouragement if you are a family that is thinking about homeschooling but you're just concerned about the space that you have, or if you are a homeschooling family already and you just have a very small space and you're trying to figure out ways to make it work better for you. I hope you found some useful information in this video, and if you did like it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up so more people can see this video also. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys are interested in more content like this, or if you're interested in following us along our journeys throughout the United States as we travel full-time, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also the bell notification button so you never miss a video when we post new ones. And until next time guys, thanks so much. Bye.